Greetings and welcome to Elect Connect, a candidate forum brought to you by the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce. I'm Mary Morgan, the Chamber's Director of Advocacy and Public Policy, and we're joined by Dominic Thompson, who's a candidate in the Democratic Party primary for a Monroe County Council at-large seat. I'd like to start, though, by first thanking our Elect Connect sponsors. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Our sponsors include German American Bank, the City of Bloomington, Hoosier Energy, Smithville, Indiana University, and Bunger and Robertson. And thanks so much for that support. Again, we're going to be talking with Dominic Thompson, Democratic Party primary candidate for Monroe County Council at-large seat. Welcome, Dominic.
Hello, Mary. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'd like to just start by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for this office.
Well, thank you. So my name is Dominic Thompson. As you know, I'm running for the Monroe County Council. Part of the reason I'm running and also they're both two issues that are going to affect us going into 2020 in this decade.
Dominic, can I stop you for a second?
Of course, yeah.
We lost you for a couple minutes, just a couple seconds, so we didn't catch what you were saying were your top priorities. So if you could just go over that again.
Yeah, of course. Of your lack of leadership on certain issues here in our community, such as affordable housing and making sure that our county government is sustainable when it comes to environmental matters going forward. I think those are two really important issues that we have to make sure that we're paying attention to going into this decade of 2020 and making sure that we're setting ourselves up for success.
Great, thank you. So I'd like to hear about your outlook for Monroe County for the remainder of 2020 and into 2021. How will the COVID-19 fallout affect the budget, in your opinion? And what changes would you support to address budget shortfalls?
You know, we're going to have to definitely rearrange the budget where it currently is at. Obviously, no government in the entire United States, I believe, was really ready for a pandemic to hit anywhere. So we need to really focus on making sure that we are ready for a second round of coronavirus, which is expected to happen this fall. We need to make sure that we have resources that we can hand out to communities, such as hand sanitizer, gloves, masks, things like that. And that's going to require taking money from other parts of the budget we already looked at. I would be in favor of taking money away from services that are not being used by residents during the coronavirus. We don't need as much money going towards parks if people have to be social distancing and cannot go to parks, or other services like that. So this is going to have a large impact on our budget overall, but I think our number one goal has to be rearranging our budget so we can have more resources ready for the community going forward. And then B, making it so we are only taking money away from the services that people aren't using while social distancing.
Okay, thanks. Also related to the COVID-19 crisis, the Monroe County Convention Center expansion has been put on the back burner for obvious reasons. What's your outlook for that project?
You know, we definitely need to wait until after the coronavirus is over. Personally, it won't be a large priority for me while on the county council. I think it's a great initiative to want to expand the convention center. However, it's not going to be a priority during my time in office.
Okay. What actions by the Monroe County Council or Monroe County General would you say directly affect local businesses? And how do you plan to solicit feedback from businesses when you're making decisions?
So I think one of the number one goals of anyone who goes into elected office should be, how can we get more people energized and engaged with local government? How can we go out and make them feel comfortable coming to us and trust us as local leaders? During my time as a Monroe County councilor, I'm going to focus on doing town halls, doing Zoom town halls, anything of that nature, and personally reaching out to residents to ask them more about issues that are impacting them. Furthermore, going back to small businesses, I would want to have monthly meetings with small business owners to understand the issues that really are impacting them and then what the county can do or who the county can work with to really solve those issues. Going forward with the coronavirus cases, we've seen that small businesses are really struggling to get by with under the regulations that we currently have. And so I would want to work with the state government and the city of Bloomington to find ways that we can lessen the economic impact on these small businesses during this time period.
Okay, great. Looking at the state level, what are some changes that you would advocate for to benefit Monroe County?
When it comes to the state level, I think that there are plenty of things that need to be advocated for. One thing that I would be passionately advocating for is housing regulations and what we allow local levels of government to do in regards to that. There are a lot of regulations on how local governments can proceed in making housing laws. For instance, you can't make it, there are plenty of regulations, so you can't allow residents to have more power when looking at their leases or things of that nature for housing. So my number one priority would be making housing that is working for people at local levels, regular individuals who, don't understand how to do every in and out of when going to get a lease.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, that's it for us. Are there any final thoughts you'd like to share? Anything you'd like to say that you didn't get a chance to mention?
Yeah. Ultimately, what I'm running for is to make affordable housing more of a priority in our community. My biggest idea, the biggest thing I'm running on in my campaign is making an affordable housing trust fund that would allow us to help fund developers that make affordable housing for residents that are under the 50% AMI level here in our county. So that's ultimately what I'm running for on big ticket issues, and I hope people will support me on that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And that wraps up our interview with Dominic Thompson, running in the Democratic Party primary for Monroe County Council at-large seat. One more shout out to our Elect Connect sponsors, German American Bank, Unger & Robertson, the City of Bloomington, Hoosier Energy, Indiana University, and Smithville. And then a final reminder to please vote in the June 2nd primary. There are a lot of local races that are important for your input, and all voters are eligible this year to vote by mail, and we would strongly encourage you to do so. More information about all that is available at the Monroe County election site, monroecountyvoters.us, as well as on our chamber website, chamberbloomington.org/2020-primary-election. Thanks for joining us.